By the time I reached the 8th grade, I was still struggling with my ADHD and with my attention issues. But I was also finding that I was struggling with my math class. I was struggling with my language arts class. And I was struggling with my history short essay exams. Ugh, history short essay exams. Short essay exams in general. I don't know how many of you are familiar with short essay exams, but they were a major killer for me. I remember one time we were taking our history short essay exam, and I'm sitting there taking my exam in the back of the classroom with that long panel of windows behind me, but these windows were overlooking our school's playground and basketball courts. And I'm sitting there looking at my exam, trying to think of the answer, and all of a sudden I hear my teacher call out, 5 minutes until pencil's down. Now, when you're a kid with ADHD and attention issues and anxiety issues, when you hear your teacher call out 5 minutes until pencil's down, your heart starts racing, thoughts race through your mind. I was nervous, and I was looking around the classroom. I looked up from my desk, and I started watching all my classmates and friends take their exams up to the front of the classroom, drop off their exams on my teacher's desk, and I watched them all go outside and play basketball. And then I looked back at my exam. You know what I saw? I saw that I still had more than 50% of my exam to finish. More than 50%. I was so nervous. I didn't want to get like lower than 50% just because I couldn't finish the exam. So I started getting nervous. My anxiety started to kick in. Those thoughts started racing through my mind. I need to finish. And I started running my hands through my hair. And I'm sitting there looking down at my exam, and my teacher approaches my desk. And I look up, and he goes, "David, I see that you have more than 50%, more than half of your exam to go to finish. I was wondering if you would like to stay in during recess and work and finish your exam at my desk." And when I first heard this, I was surprised. I was perplexed. I was relieved, majorly relieved, because I was like, in my mind, I was like, yes, of course I want to finish my exam. I don't want to get a 50% just because I couldn't finish. I didn't realize it at the time, but that was the first time that I ever made a teacher into an ally. So my mom, who is my biggest ally, started noticing that I was struggling with my English class, that I was struggling with my math class, and that I was struggling with that history short essay exam. So she wanted to take me to a local psychiatrist who could provide a diagnosis of something besides my ADHD, which could be hindering my learning styles, my learning in the classroom. So about a week later, I go into the psychiatrist's office for my appointment, and it's a big old spacious office. Smack dab in the middle of the office was a large mahogany desk with some high back leather chairs, and she had a long panel of windows that overlooked her building's courtyard. So just by her office setting, I already started feeling comfortable. I've never been really comfortable around mental health like professionals. I don't know why, but she helped me become very, very comfortable. And so we went through our pleasantries, and I shared a little bit about myself, how I was the lead cartoonist for our school's newspaper, how I each week I drew a different comic strip for our school's newspaper, how I played water polo, and she shared a little bit about herself. So all of a sudden, I'm like really starting to feel comfortable with this psychiatrist. And after our pleasantries, we just jumped right into testing. 4 hours long of nonstop testing. I tell you, it was the longest 4 hours I had ever sat through, especially for an exam, especially for a kid with ADHD and attention issues and some anxiety. Most of the exam that she was running through were testing my memory skills. So, for example, she would ask me, or she would state like a litany of words mixed with numbers, and I was expected to regurgitate them back. This went on for 4 hours, and as I said, man, that was the longest 4 hours I had ever sat through, especially for a kid with major ADHD. At the end of the exam, about a day later, the psychiatrist called my parents with a diagnosis of what was going on in my mind. She diagnosed me as having an executive processing disorder, a learning difference. And that explained why. So an executive processing disorder means that I struggle with memorization skills, and I struggle with language, like language-based, like dialogue. And that explained why I struggled with memorizing those my math theorems, and it also explained why I struggled with my English writing course, and it explained why I struggled with those history short essay exams, why I couldn't just write what I was thinking. So having that diagnosis was such a relief to me, because for the longest time I thought that I was just dumb at math, just dumb at writing, just dumb at those short essay exams. But no, I have an executive processing disorder. And you know what? With that diagnosis, when I entered into high school the following year, I was actually able to start receiving full accommodations for all of my classes. So not just I was able to start receiving extended time, which is what that history teacher gave me in 8th grade. But I was able to start receiving extra time on not just my history short essay exams, but on all my classes, on my math class, on my English class, on my science class, and on my history classes. And that was major. That was absolutely major. That helped me get through high school. That helped me succeed. That helped me receive honors when I graduated. So that was an amazing part of that was a huge milestone in my LD ADHD journey. Thanks for listening. Have a good day, guys. Bye.